Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. You know how much we all love to explore the latest tech trends, and today we're tackling a big one, ChatGPT versus Google.
Yeah, this is a hot topic right now. Everyone's wondering if ChatGPT could really shake up Google's dominance.
For sure, and we're going to break it all down for you. So first things first, let's talk about the good old days before Google. Can you even imagine having to use actual books and libraries to find information?
Ugh, it's like the dark ages. Right. But seriously, Google revolutionized the way we access information. It's hard to imagine life without it now.
Totally. It's become such a part of our daily lives. But then comes along ChatGPT, this AI-powered chatbot that's making waves. Could it be the next big thing in search?
Well, Google has been the king for so long. It's tough to picture anything dethroning it, but ChatGPT is definitely bringing something new to the table.
It's true. So let's break down the differences. How is ChatGPT different from good old Google?
Well, with Google, you type in some keywords and get a list of links. ChatGPT, on the other hand, is all about conversation. You can ask it questions in natural language, and it tries to give you a helpful response.
It's like talking to a real person instead of just typing in search terms. That's pretty cool. And our source actually uses this funny analogy. They describe ChatGPT as a superhero with a cape made of ones and zeros.
That's a great way to put it. It highlights the fact that ChatGPT is powered by some seriously sophisticated AI algorithms. These algorithms allow it to understand language and context in a way that traditional search engines can't.
So it's not just about matching keywords, it's about actually understanding what you're asking and trying to give you a meaningful answer. That sounds like a game changer.
It could be. The source even argues that ChatGPT could change the way we behave online. We might start asking more complex questions and engaging with information on a deeper level.
That's a really interesting point. So instead of just skimming through search results, we might actually be spending more time thinking critically and exploring different perspectives. That's pretty powerful stuff.
But I do have to wonder, can a computer really understand us? Human language is so nuanced and complex.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's something that researchers are still trying to figure out. ChatGPT uses something called natural language processing, or NLP, which is basically how computers learn to understand and respond to human language.
So it's like teaching a computer to speak our language.
Exactly. And it's getting pretty good at it.
Right.
While it's not perfect, ChatGPT can pick up on a lot of those subtle cues that make human communication so rich and layered.
Wow. So it's not just some basic chatbot spitting out canned responses. It's actually learning and evolving based on how we interact with it. That's right. And the source even gives this cool example. Imagine asking Google how to cook an egg. You'll get a ton of recipes. But ask ChatGPT the same question, and it might ask you back, scrambled or poached today. It's like it's reading your mind and anticipating what you need.
Okay, that's impressive. It sounds like ChatGPT is really trying to personalize the search experience. But let's not forget, Google has been around for ages and has this massive infrastructure behind it. Can ChatGPT really compete with that?
That's a good question. Google's dominance is undeniable. They've got years of data and experience under their belt. But ChatGPT offers something completely different. It's not about replacing Google, but about providing an alternative, a different way of interacting with information.
So it's less about a head-to-head battle and more about opening up new possibilities.
Exactly. And honestly, that's what makes this whole topic so exciting. We're witnessing the evolution of search right before our eyes.
It's like a tech revolution in real time. Okay, but let's be real for a sec. AI isn't perfect, right? It still makes mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes can be pretty funny. The source actually mentions this hilarious anecdote about ChatGPT giving some terrible gardening advice, like recommending you plant tomatoes under your couch.
Right. And it's a good reminder that AI, for all its potential, is still a work in progress. It's learning, evolving, and making some silly blunders along the way.
Which makes it even more fascinating to me. It's like this brilliant but slightly eccentric friend who's always full of surprises. You never know what they're going to say next.
I love that analogy. It perfectly captures the unpredictable nature of AI. It kind of makes you wonder, though, if it gets too smart. Are we going to be in trouble?
Yeah, that's the big question everyone's asking, right? Will ChatGPT actually take over Google?
Yeah.
Like, is this the beginning of the end for our beloved search engine?
Well, our source has a really interesting take on this. They think it might not be about one replacing the other, It's more like a shift in how we think about search altogether.
Yeah. So not a total knockout, but maybe like a change in the rules of the game.
Exactly. Imagine a future where instead of typing in these keywords, we're actually having conversations with our AI assistants. Like, they understand what we need and can kind of guide us to the right information.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool, like having a personal research assistant at your beck and call 24/7.
Right. And the source paints this picture of like asking your AI assistant about the weather, but instead of just getting a boring old forecast, it gives you a witty little comment like, don't forget your umbrella. You know how you are about getting caught in the rain.
I love that. It's like it knows you so well that it can poke fun at your little quirks. So much more human and engaging than just a bunch of numbers and symbols on a screen.
And that's the key takeaway here, right? It's not just about the information itself. It's about how it's delivered, how it makes us feel, how it enhances the whole experience.
So it's like AI is bringing this touch of personality and even humor to the world of search.
Absolutely. And that raises a whole other question. If AI can understand our intent and preferences this well, what other parts of our digital lives could be transformed by this kind of conversational technology?
Ooh, that's a good one. Think about it. Shopping, entertainment, education, the possibilities are kind of endless.
Imagine asking your AI assistant to like help you plan a vacation or find the perfect gift for someone or even learn a new skill. It could respond in a way that's totally tailored to you.
That's mind-blowing. It's like having a personal concierge for your entire digital life.
And it's not just about convenience either. It's about making the whole experience more intuitive and enjoyable. Like technology becomes less of a tool and more of a partner.
Okay, now I'm really getting excited about the future of AI, but I do have one concern. If it gets so good at understanding us, does that mean it could also be used to manipulate us? Like, could it influence our decisions or even control our behavior?
That's a huge question, and it's something that researchers are really grappling with right now. As AI gets more sophisticated, we have to make sure that it's being used ethically and responsibly. It needs to serve humanity, not the other way around.
So it's like with any powerful tool, we need to be aware of both the good and the bad.
Exactly. We need to be having these conversations about the ethical implications of AI, make sure we're developing and using it in a way that benefits everyone.
Like we got to lay down some ground rules before it gets too smart for its own good.
Exactly. We need to be proactive in shaping the future of AI, making sure it aligns with our values and goals.
Well, this conversation has been quite the journey.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think about all the possibilities and challenges that AI presents.
It really is a game changer, and we're only just scratching the surface.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step in this AI revolution?
That is the question, isn't it? What does the future hold for AI, and how will it shape our world? It's both exciting and a little daunting.
Yeah, for sure. But one thing's for certain, this whole AI thing is moving at warp speed. I mean, the pace of innovation is just incredible. So we can definitely expect to see even more groundbreaking stuff in the years to come.
Oh, absolutely. The future is going to be wild. But, maybe that's part of what makes it all so fascinating, right? Keeps us on our toes and forces us to think outside the box.
Totally. It's like a constant reminder that the world is changing faster than ever. And it's up to us to keep up, to adapt and learn and evolve along with it.
Couldn't agree more. So what can our listeners do to stay ahead of the curve? How can they make sense of this whole AI revolution?
I think the most important thing is to stay curious. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and don't be afraid to really dive deep into the world of AI. There's a ton of resources out there, online, courses, articles, podcasts, you name it.
And don't forget to have fun with it too, right? AI can be incredibly creative and entertaining. So play around with it, experiment, see what you can discover.
For sure. The more you engage with it, the more you'll understand its potential and its limitations. And hey, who knows, maybe you'll even be inspired to create something amazing with it.
Absolutely. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, from the basics of ChatGPT to the potential impact of AI on our lives. It's been a wild ride.
It really has. And hopefully our listeners have learned a thing or two and maybe even had a few laughs along the way.
Me too. So to sum it all up, I think the big takeaway here is that AI is here to stay. It's only going to become more integrated into our lives, whether we're talking about search engines, personal assistants, self-driving cars, whatever. AI is going to play a major role in shaping our future.
Absolutely. And while there are definitely some challenges and ethical considerations, we need to be mindful of the potential benefits are just too huge to ignore.
So let's embrace the future with open minds and a sense of adventure. Who knows what incredible discoveries are waiting for us out there?
Well said. So on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll catch you next time for another exciting exploration of the world around us.
Until then, stay curious.